Yali Madad to all friends online. We have gathered here to understand the Gyanan, selected verses of the Gyanan Brahm Prakash, beautiful Gyanan. So let me just do some zikr, seek Maula's help. Ya Maula Meherban, Madad Farma, Madad Farma. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil, wa ni'mal Maula, wa ni'mal Nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil wa ni'mal mawla wa ni'mal nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil wa ni'mal mawla wa ni'mal nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil wa ni'mal mawla wa ni'mal nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil wa ni'mal mawla wa ni'mal nasir. Ya Allah, madad farma, madad farma. So today is our session 4 on this Gyanan, and we've been discussing the beginning verses. So let us today go further on our journey, and we have here verse 2. सत शब्द का करो विचारा पीशा कहो जी वारम वारा. The translation from online heritageismaili.net site says, reflect, meditate upon the true word, and say Pirsha, name of the Lord, as often as possible, or repeat again and again the words Pir and Shah. We had discussed the reflection part, the meditation part in great detail, but we do need to discuss the second line, Pisha Kahoji Varam Vara, again and again. What does this word again and again means? Surely there's a repetition, implied repetition that you need to repeat. So we will focus on this repetition word through the Quranic chapter Surah Adyat, which is chapter number 100, and there are 11 verses in this chapter. And we will be so shocked when we read these verses and understand the meaning, the Tawili meaning of these verses. We would realize that actually our Pir Mai Bab was teaching us the understanding of this surah. Varam Vara, or in the other part it says Nisdin, day and night, consistently, day and night, say your bowl, your Isme Azam. This is the teaching of our Pir Mai Bab, that if you are bestowed with that word. So in this Gyanan, Pir Mai Bab is telling us to call Pir Shah to all the Jamaati members who did not have Isme Azam. So they were teaching the Jamaat that say Pir Shah, Pir Shah. But when a Jamaati member, a Momin, has a Isme Azam, definitely that is the kalima, that is the word which Imam has given to us through his Mukh Mubarak. So that is the word which we do need to recite again and again, Varamavara, consistently. Few classes ago there was a question that somebody said, big person, that's what my friend said, asking question. Somebody big told her that Isme Azam can only be recited during the Nurani time and no other time. And the talimat of our Pir is to say this zikr repeatedly nisdin. So keeping that into consideration, let's now review the Surah Adyat. Very beautiful words, chapter, and there are only 11 verses. The line first verse says, by the racers panting, meaning that the horses are riding. In Urdu, it says the translation, हाँफते हुए दौड़ने वाले घोड़ों की कसम. In this verse, Allah is swearing by the horses. घोड़ों की कसम खा रहा है खुदा. So it's a very strange thing that why would Allah be talking about horses as if they are very exalted? The Tawili meaning of the horse is actually Isme Azam. The Tawili meaning of the horse is actually Isme Azam. And when we are saying, we are reading this, that Allah is saying that Dorne wale, racing horses. This is exactly what our Pir is saying in Brahm Prakash when he says, recite this zikr varamavara. Constantly, meaning one zikr, after that second time zikr, third time zikr, constantly continuation in a chain without any break, as if horses are riding so fast. That is the imagination given to us in the Quran, that the way we were to see horses riding so fast, that their breathing is fast and they're running so fast. That is the example actually Pir is teaching us in Brahm Prakash Kinan, that we have to do our zikr in a very speedy way, very fast, very rapid zikr, as if the horses are running. In the second verse, it says, and the producers of sparks when striking, फिर ताप मारकर आग झाड़ने वालों की कसम. When we look at the horses racing, their feet, when they touch the ground with their metal on their feet, when they touch the ground and they're running so fast that there are sparks of fire coming out. That is the example of a Mu'min Salik who does the rapid zikr. Zikr with force, zikr with continuity. Using our breath, doing zikr very fast. As if we are saying, if my zikr is Ya Ali, I would be saying Ya Ali, 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 Ali. It has to be that fast. Continuously with force. And when we say force, what do we mean? We will have to realize that in physical world, whenever we do anything, the more senses are involved, the better the outcome would be. Meaning we are really, really focusing on the task we are doing. Similarly, when we sit in ibadat, in our Nurani time ibadat, we have to see the bowl with our eyes, not this eyes, the eyes of the heart. We have to recite, not with the tongue, but our inner, in our heart, we have to be reciting Ya Ali, Ali without using our tongue. And at the same time, we have to be listening to the Isme Azam too, meaning our tongue of our heart, eyes of our heart, and ears of our heart. They are constantly connected when we are doing the zikr. And it was very amazing to hear one of the friend last time when she said, oh, I get tired when I do the zikr very fast. And that's very correct. In the beginning, when a Mu'min Salik starts doing that zikr, which is with force, and by focusing the senses, which we just talked about, on that shabd, one will get tired. The way when we look at the horses, when they are running, they run so fast. They become breathless kind of. And the speed is such that there is a fire, sparks are coming out. आग निकलती है. Exactly इबादत में भी ऐसा ही होता है. जब मोमिन बहुत तेजी से जिक्र करता है, बीच में जरा भी डिस्टेंस नहीं होता है, गैप नहीं होता है, एक नाम, दो नाम, तीन नाम, और सांस बहुत फोकस के साथ आंखों से इसमें आजम को देखना, कान से सुनना, दिल से बोलना, the force would be so powerful that the zikr will actually be there, and somehow you'll feel that it's going upward, 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 upward. And there'll be force. And force would be so much so that in your heart you will realize that There is no space for shaitan to enter to give you any thoughts. There's no space in between for shaitan to give you any thoughts. And when the speedy zikr is being done with such a force and focus, what happens? That time actually it is called when Mu'min and Salik is in jihad. A Mu'min is in war. What kind of war? Not physical war. This is ruhani jihad. Literally the nurani time, जब हम इबादत में बैठते हैं, that is the time of a war. जंग का वक्त है जिसमें मोमिन जिहाद करता है. ये रूहानी जिहाद होता है. किससे जिहाद कर रहे हैं? कौन है हमारे सामने? हमारी खुद की नफ्स, मन ने मारो तो गुरु कहे मने मारो. That is the time when literally we are killing our carnal soul. We are crushing the carnal soul. क्यों? Because we are staying in remembrance with such a focus कि नफ्स को मौका नहीं मिलता है कि वो जरा सा भी बीच में आके कोई भी थॉट्स हमारे दिमाग में डाले. तो कांस्टेंट जिक्र होता है. When the zikr is being done in such a way which is forcefully and continuously, what happens कि जो हमारी रूह जो जानवर की है, remember we have talked about it कि हमारे अंदर जो है रूहों के अंदर भी दर्जात है. We do have mineral soul, then we do have vegetative soul, then we do have animal soul, and then there is a human soul. Whatever part which we have, which is animalistic soul, that soul starts dissolving. तहलील होती है उसकी. That soul starts transforming into rational soul, जो हमारी इंसानी, हमारी I है, human soul. And when we being human, when we are focused on that shabd in a way we are talking about, the way Pir is teaching us according to the Quran, what happens that we are transforming our nafse ammara into nafse lawama. वो रूह जो इमाम की रूह है, वो रूह जो हमें गाइड करती है. What happens then? If a mu'min and salik is constantly, continuously is doing that, there is a reward. Remember, मारो मौला छे तो एवो जे कोई न राखे भार, एक वार सामी ने आलिए, सामी आले सो वार. Our Mawla is such who does not keep anybody's bhar. If we truly do one time ibadat properly, we will be rewarded immediately. We may not realize it. When we don't have knowledge, we don't see it. But he does not keep any bhar on himself. He immediately rewards. In Quran, it says that he is sarihul hisab. He is very swift in accounting, very fast. Immediately वो इनाम देता है. इनाम क्या होता है? We would receive nur in our heart. Now, how do we see nur? It can be sometimes described as that we feel peaceful in our heart, we feel happy in our heart. And those who are walking on the path of learning knowledge, wanting to know about Imam, they are able to understand more knowledge and wisdom. They are able to comprehend difficult concepts. It happens all automatically. If we do not understand these concepts, we may think, oh, it is me who is learning this. It is me who is doing that. It is all his blessings which we receive when we are farman bardar. It is all his blessings that we are able to get interested in knowledge and wisdom. We are able to understand the higher concepts, advanced concepts. It is all because of his mercy. Now these zakirin, these people, these moments who do zikr like this, they literally are those who start making themselves, who start becoming firishta, angels. The human soul starts transforming into becoming an angel. Versus there are those who do ibadat half heartedly, meaning नींद आ रही है, सो रहे हैं, ध्यान नहीं है, focus नहीं है. Of course they do not sense or receive any rewards. कोई माजिज़ा उनकी जिंदगी में नहीं होता है. They sit for the sake of sitting, लेकिन कोई फायदा, कोई इनाम, कोई माजिज़ा उनके दिल के अंदर, उनके ध्यान के अंदर नहीं पैदा होता है, और वो उनको लगता है कि वो मेहनत तो कर रहे हैं. तो remember, our peer has given us this example, right? That गाय को जो है कुएं के पास खड़ी है और आंखों पे पट्टी बांध दी, और उसको लगा कि वो तो गांव-गांव सफर कर रही है. Cow is traveling, thinking, though I'm traveling from this village to that village to this village. But when the blindfold is opened, what she sees, she's exactly standing where she had began. She has not moved anywhere. She's exactly standing where she was. That would be the status of those who do go for bandagi, half-heartedly sit down, but do not work hard to get the higher fruits. Now remember, Imam is merciful Imam. Imam is merciful Imam. Imam has said, Imam has told us that even if you fall asleep, do not think of it as a failure. Why? Because Mawla knows that our life is difficult. We live under so much pressure. But that does not mean that we are not accountable for our own life or our actions. If we were to be sleeping at our work, if we were to be sleeping when we are going to business, would we earn any money? Will we be able to make our living? Definitely not. So Imam knows that we are honest. Imam knows that we are sincere. Imam knows that we are accountable. Imam knows that we are ethical. And therefore Imam says that despite of doing everything, your best effort, your best practice, then if you fall asleep, it is all right. Do not think of it as a failure. But to sit in ibadat is also the mercy of Imam, that we are able to sit in ibadat. So I hope that we are able to understand Imam's Farameen with intellect, to be able to realize that Imam is not promoting us to be lazy. No, Imam is not saying that. Imam is not saying that we can be, it is okay to sleep every day in ibadat. Imam is saying that despite of all the hard work you do, you know, are disciplined, you work hard, you do zikr at the, at the sleeping time and wake up in the morning time and sit in ibadat. And then if you fall asleep, it can happen. We are humans. We are not machines. So Imam said it's okay. It's all right. So I hope that we are able to understand Imam's Farameen. When we talk of speed during our zikr, what is the example in our world? We look at the generator. When the electricity is created in generator, how is it created? With the speed. Then there is a physically, we have the light when we use the generator. Generator is the example for us in Ruhaniyat when we do the zikr in a speedy way. The way physical generator is able to create light for us, electricity for us, similarly, if we were to do the zikr the way we are understanding it with the knowledge, there is no doubt, but there will be light, that we will be able to see the light. Why? Because 2 plus 2 will become 4. It is a formula. There is no doubt, there is no deficiency, there is no gap in this understanding. If for us in Ruhaniyat 2 plus 2, 4 is not resulting, it is because of our flaws, our fault in understanding or doing things the way we need to do. Not that there is any deficiency in Imam's name or Imam's mercy. That is Isme Azam. We are truly blessed to be having Isme Azam. When a Mu'min Salih does do this kind of zikr in a speedy way, the doors of Ruhaniyat do open up for that Mu'min Salih. Batin khulna shuru ho jata hai. क्या मिसाल होगी इसकी? हमें कैसे पता चलेगा? एक जो मिसाल है, आलम ख्वाब, the world of dreams, do communicate. Remember, the dreams are actually our own x-rays, x-rays of our soul. The way we spend our day, the way we do ibadat, whatever is happening, our soul is collecting the data. It's all accumulated, right? But when we sleep, our soul actually shows us the x-ray, gives us the results. How did we spend the day? When a Mu'min Salik sees an army fighting, do know that it is an example that when we do zikr like that, our Firishtegana energies, the angelic energies in our being is fighting the nafs amara. If we were to see a horse or horse riding, we now know it is about Isma Azam. So all these are actually rewards. When we see it in our dreams, it is validation. It is acknowledgement that what you are doing is right. Continue to do it. Beautiful farman of Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Maula says in Baitul Khayal farman, પહેલા તો ઘણીવાર સુધી આ કામ માટે બેસવા લીધે ખ્યાલ તૂટી જાય છે અને ખ્યાલ તૂટી જવાથી લાભ થતો નથી. So Imam is saying that there were times when the expectations from Jamaat was to sit in Bandagi at midnight till like 5 a.m., right? And then Imam has decreased the hours and now we have only 1 hour. And Imam is saying the reason that Imam did that, the change was made because due to the long period of time, the attention, the focus was being cut. It was being broken. And Imam says because of that, the time now has been limited. Why? So we have constant attention on our goal, on our Isma Azam. It is an expectation that our dhyan is focused on Isma Azam. That is why Maula says that this work has been decreased. Why? So our khayal, our dhyan stays consistent on Isma Azam. And then Imam also says that કેમ કે તમે હિંમતવાન અને એવા મજબૂત નથી, that you don't have that kind of courage, you're not that strong. Now, by saying this, is Imam discouraging us? Not at all, not at all. Imam truly is acknowledging that we are actually lazy. Do we not know that about our own selves? We do know that, right? And we ourselves make this intent, make this decision. Where is our focus? What is our priority? If our priority is truly our ibadat and our soul, definitely we would be working very hard towards it. But Imam says, Imam knows us, so Imam says that, I do not see that strength in your heart to be able to do what I would like you to do. Because Imam wants us to become one with him right now, this moment. Imam is so desperately waiting for us. It is us who continue to linger and linger and linger and do not merge with him. So Imam is actually knowingly about our status, Imam is telling us. Imam Sultan Umar Shah straightforward talked to us. He knew how to talk to us and let us know that what were our limitations. So we become conscious, we become more careful, disciplined. And then Mola says that I do not want you to be in the thoughts of the worldly life. Try your best to keep your thought consistent. That is how I want your khayal. Evo majboot khayal joiye. That is what he's saying, that I want your khayal to be like that. જ્યારે તમે આ કામ બરાબર ધ્યાન કરશો ત્યારે તે વખતે રૂહ શરીરમાંથી છૂટો થઈ બહાર જાય, પાછો એક કલાક પછી શરીરમાં દાખલ થશે. If we are able to do that, Imam is saying that definitely your soul will come out of your body, travel for 1 hour and come back in your body. It is possible, it is given to us, this miracle, this reward is ours to take. But Imam did give us conditions. So very beautifully, Imam has kind of made us realize where is the lacking. And it is to us individually. For me, I have to assess myself. We need to look at ourselves, where are we standing? And if we have areas of improvement, we do need to improve. And then Mola says, अगर रूह शरीर माथी बाहर नहीं निकले तो रूह फायदा केम जोई सकसे. For us to be able to get our soul out, that is what is needed to be done. That is the benefit of our sitting in ibadat, getting Isme Azam, that our soul has to come out, travel, see Imam and come back. That is exactly what we are wanting to do. If we don't get that, then we are not doing something right. That is the destination, that is the expectations. And we should be able to get it according to Imam's farman if we are following his farmans. Now this is the third verse and it says, and the chargers at dawn, फिर सुबह के वक्त धावा बोलने वालों की कसम. Morning hours. Now morning hours we all know very well. Imam has given us so many faramins about it that best time for doing ibadat is morning time. We sit very peacefully because the whole world is sleeping. It is easier to focus and our heart rate, our breathing, respiration, everything is so calm that it is the best time for us to sit in bandagi and let our soul come out of our body. Because the grip of the body on the soul is very limited. Very limited. So it is very easy for the soul to get separated and come out of the body. So in this Quran, Maulana Hazimam, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Spiritual children who are seeking enlightenment. Imam is giving this Quran to those who are seeking enlightenment, who have come to the Imam to be shown the path, are saying we wish to perform bandagi. Therefore, it is your effort. It is up to each one of you to rise and to concentrate in your bandagi in the early morning. And we do have the practical example of Adam. Adam, we do know, who was made from dust. And he did such an honest ibadat. The way we are supposed to recite the Isme Azam, he did that. He did the riyazat and ibadat and he became one within 40 days. Within 40 days. Now Adam was mustajib, just like us. A simple, ordinary moment in Jamaat. If Adam is able to do that, we are also able to do that. That is the lesson we learn from the story of Adam. Adam is that motivating personality, motivating example for us that a moment can achieve that elevated rank, meaning that he can, within 40 days, he can complete his Isme Azam because he was meeting all the criterias. Imam in Usul-e-Din Farman, when Imam talks about Adam, that is what Imam is telling us. That is one of the pagam Imam is giving us. That if Adam is the one who became one with Mawla, who became the Janashin, when he was given the Isme Azam, within 40 days he completed the Isme Azam. Are we able to do that? For that, we do need to do Riyazat or Ibadat, meaning so much of seeking not only in the sense of sitting at Nurani time, during the whole day when we constantly stay in remembrance of Imam, seeking his didar, purifying our deeds, what happens? When we sit in Ibadat, definitely we are able to see the connection, the better concentration. It is possible because Adam did it for us to walk on the path of his way of doing ibadat, meaning honest ibadat with farman bardari, no laziness, no half-heartedness. All the conditions should be met. And our Maula Ali has also told us in Kalam-e Maula, we sing this Ginan so beautifully, Kalam-e Maula, and there are two verses which very beautifully says, सब दिन पीछे रात है, दिन को करो आप कमाई धंधा, रात को बैठो आराम से, जपो उसको जिसका तू है बंदा. दुनिया लोग कहे पेट धंधा लागा, कब बैठे हम खुदा के गे। मौला फरमावे जो वेला धंधा नहीं, रब को संभारो बीच अंधेरी ले। After each day there is night. During the day, earn your living. Nobody is telling us not to do live worldly life. Earn your living. At night, sit restfully, remember him who is our creator. The people of the world, those who are in love with the world, what will they say? Oh no, we have to work, we have to maintain the balance. Would you not hear this term? Oh, we need to maintain the balance. When they, give priority to the worldly life, it's the choice one is making. When can we sit and think of God? Because their priorities are different. Maula Ali says, early when there is no work, remember God in the dark night. So the instructions are given to us early in the morning. महराज खुदा का रसूल पाया जिन्हें सब रात की थी हक बंदगी. So महराज मोमन को होवे जो दिल से निकाले सब दुनिया गंदगी. रात को जागे एक ध्यान सु पैरवी रसूल की करे किरदार. तो उस मोमिन को महराज होवे अपने रब का दीदार. Now tell me the last two lines. Let me read the translation for those who do not understand. Our Paigambar attained the Miraj. He performed the true bandagi every night. This Miraj is possible for a moment. This Miraj is possible for a moment if his heart does not have any dirt of this worldly life. Did we just not read that we have to live in this world? We have to fulfill all the duties of the world? We do live in the world, but not become of the world. There is a difference. This body has to go through this riyazat, meaning practice. All the worldly duties has to be fulfilled. We cannot neglect any of our duties, but our heart is not in this world. The heart is connected to Mawla. And that also comes with practice. But the important, very important message here in this verse, Mawla Ali is teaching us that a mu'min is also able to get to Miraj. Miraj is not limited to Prophet Muhammad. The way we just talked about the example of Adam, that Adam was able to complete his Isme Azam within 40 days. When Paigambar completed his Isme Azam, he went to Miraj. All these rewards, these blessings, these exalted experience of going to Miraj is also available for every moment. Why? Because our Mawla is Rahman and Rahim. He does not distinguish those who follow the path, those who are Farman Bardar, those who fulfill the criteria. Imam is not going to say, no, I will not give it to you. Anyone. And that is how we see the example of Salman Farsi not being Ismaili, not having Isme Azam, but able to reach to that status that he became the family of the Prophet. How did he do that? He was Farman Bardar. Now, the third verse. In this verse, let me read the whole verse first. Prathama dhyan rasna su kije nisdin pisha bhanije. At first, one should focus on repeated remembrance of this word in one's own mind or own heart. And indeed, remember the word Pirsha day and night. And this is what I was referring to, day and night, varam vara. We do need to do the zikr day and night. It is okay sometimes when we get bored. As humans, we do like changes. So if we have done the zikr of, Isme Azam, and now we want to change to some other zikr, we can do that. There are so many beautiful names of Allah. So many beautiful names. Hazimam in his Farman in Chicago, in Golden Jubilee, he did say that we can say the name of Allah, Ali, names of the prophets, name of the Imam. All these are names of the light. Any name we like to take, do take, but take. Recite his names. And then again come back to your Isme Azam. We do need to practice our Isme Azam. We do need to have this habit of doing the zikr fast, speedy zikr. So when we sit in ibadat, at that time we are not struggling. We know how to go about it. We do need to do nisdin zikr according to the teachings of our peers. At first, one should focus on repeated remembrance. We do need to develop this practice. If we have not done this practice, we will struggle during the ibadat time. So it is expected of us to do the practice and then take the test, which is every morning Nurani time. And then we are back to our Quranic verse. The verse 4 in chapter 100 says, stirring up thereby clouds of dust. Us waqt gird o gubar urate hain. And then the verse 5 says, arriving thereby in the center collectively. फिर उसी के साथ फौजियों के दरमियान घुस जाते हैं. Very beautiful verses, and actually about our Isme Azam and Ibadat. It says that when this dust is being stirred, dust is stirred. We are sitting in Ibadat, there is no dust. We are all made of dust only. The whole body is dust. When we do zikr, इतनी तेजी से जब हम जिक्र करते हैं तो ये जो मिट्टी का पुतला है इसमें एक हंगामा होता है, एक जंग तारी होती है, एक तकलीफ होती है. किस चीज की? थकने की, आराम करने की. क्यों? मार पड़ती है नफ्स पे. This body of the dust becomes stirred. क्योंकि this speedy zikr is so powerful because it is already light. It is already light, and the light, when it's recited in a right way, the whole body starts shaking. The dust starts stirring. What does that mean? Meaning that every particle, zarra, zarra, the souls we have, in every particle there is a soul. Each particle is in a state of sleep. They are frozen soul. Munjamid ruh hai. When this dust is stirring, the particle by particle, these frozen souls are waking up. And then what happens? The dense body, particle by particle, starts becoming subtle. There is a conversion, there is a transformation which happens particle by particle. The density transforms, converts into subtlety. Again, it is a journey. If we are to fulfill all the criteria, in the example of Adam, only 40 days. In fact, in one of the Baitul Khayal Farman of Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah, Maula has even said, within 3 days. Surely 3 days for those mu'mineen who have taken care of their deeds for a long time and they are purified mu'mineen. When they get Isme Azam and they start doing this ibadat, it does not take them long to stir this dust so fast that there's a quick transformation of density to subtlety. And then the soul is out. There's Nurani Badan. And it is the Nurani Badan only that can reach to Imam. Physically, we cannot reach to Imam. So that is what is about when it says in this Quranic verse, stirring up thereby clouds of dust. The dust is this. And then it says that they enter into the उसके साथ फौजियों के दरमियान घुस जाते हैं, arriving thereby in the center collectively. So if there are all the army is there, and somehow this Mu'min Salik has entered into center. Which center we are talking about? The whole being, when we are doing zikr, beginning from our legs, the zikr constantly continues to go up and up and up, getting to the center, connecting all the senses, united in the heart. And then zikr continues to travel up and up. But when it becomes centered, meaning then there is nothing exists, just that jam, just that zikr. And that is a beautiful state of being. Again, what do we mean by center? All particles of our heart and mind gathered together, centered. depending on the hard work of a moment in purifying their deeds, learning ilmu amal, zikr ibadat, and then sitting properly in the ibadat, it does become centered. So what happens in the darkness of the night when the Mu'min Salik is doing ibadat? How? By putting such strong pressure on the carnal soul. The carnal soul dissolves and sparks of the light appear. Then there is inamat, there is majizat, there is victory of winning this spiritual jihad, ruhani jang, early in the morning hours. And that Mu'min Salik is able to see changes in alam al-khayal, alam al-khab. The world of imagination changes, the world of dreams changes. For those who do the zikr ibadat with complete focus, in speed, with force and continuity. Again, beautiful farman of Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah, because we do need to see how all our sources of learning actually is helping us to grow in Ruhaniyat. Quran is the Tanzil which was brought by Prophet Muhammad. Ta'wil is being done by Imam Ali, and that responsibility is carried out by every Imam because it is the same Nurun Allah Nur, Silsila Nur Imamat. Our peers, when they become merged with Imam, they were also teaching the same thing. The source is the same. Wordings and the ways it's being told to us could be different, but the essence is same. So in this farman, again, Baitul Kyal farman, Mumbai, February 16, 1910, Maula says, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Pehla 1 minute, ek dhyan thi, ahi tehena khayal na hoye, એવી રીતે 4 થી 5 દિવસ સુધી, પછી 2 મિનિટ, એ જ પ્રમાણે પછી 3 મિનિટ. So Imam is actually teaching us the process. Literally, Imam is so merciful. He's teaching us the process that first, if you are sitting in ibadat, just do this ibadat this way for 1 minute, for 4 or 5 days. Then 2 minutes, 4 or 5 days. Then 3 minutes, 4 or 5 days. તમે એવી રીતે પોતાનું ધ્યાન પગથિયા પર મજબૂત બરાબર ચોક્કસ કરશો તો તમે તે પગથિયા પરથી ટપીને 4-5 પગથિયા પર ચડી શકશો. Imam is very clearly saying that if you are able to do that, a time will come that you will climb the ladder, like you will jump few steps. In the beginning, it is slow. When we are saying just 1 minute, Maula Baba, I thought I have to do bandagi for whole 1 hour. But Imam is saying 1 minute, meaning practice 1 minute, and then again, probably you're tired or not able to concentrate. Again, you say some dua to Maula Baba, seeking his, mercy. Again, you try, then again you stop, again you try. Constantly, you keep trying for 1 minute completely, consistently to do the zikr. And then slowly, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and that's how you come to 1 hour. But Imam is saying, if you were to start doing that, a time will come that within a sitting, one sitting, you will climb few steps up. That ability as a Mu'min Salik is with us. That we don't have to climb stair by stair. We can take elevator and go up too. In the beginning, we do have to see the stairs. We do need to understand that there are steps I need to take. But once I'm admitted into elevator, then I don't need to worry about stairs. We're just climbing up, going up, without we realizing how many steps we have climbed up. It is possible with Imam's mercy. Verse 4. Teen maas rasana beech rahiya, piche na brahm sukhiya. If you maintain constant remembrance for at least a period of 3 months, it becomes the word of Brahma. Word of Brahma. Very interesting. He is saying if you were to do that for 3 months consistently, the remembrance, the word will become Imam. Brahma, Imam. Meaning, right now, Ya Ali is probably a word for us. It is a word for us, which we can write and read. But in Nuraniyat, Imam is encompassed within that word. Imam's mercy is such that in our Isma Azam, he actually, with his all nur, comes to us. But we are not able to actualize that word in potentially to actuality, to be able to see how that word is a living personality with us. That word is actually the living personality. But that recognition, that understanding, that transformation is required for us to meet all the criteria. And Pir is teaching us in this Gyanan, if you maintain such zikr for 3 months, the Shabd will become Brahma. That Isma Azam is the Imam. The Isma Azam is that living personality which we are seeking, whom we are seeking. Then the verse 6 says, indeed mankind to his Lord is ungrateful. Yaqinan insan apne Rabb ka bada nashukra hai. We are very ungrateful, very truly ungrateful people. And Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah has said in his Farman to Wadwa camp, October 10th, 1903, Mullah says, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Be grateful that you are born in Satpanth. Be grateful that you are born in Satpanth. Take care of it. If you have taken care, then soul will go straight in heaven when it leaves your body. Be grateful. Be shukr guzar. Are we? Do we realize how blessed we are? When I'm asked these questions, are Ismaili elite? Are we not? Tell me, in whose religion there's a living guide? In whose religion they get Isma Azam? Insan yaqinan na shukra hai. Verse 7 says, and indeed he is to that a witness. Or yaqinan wo khud us par gawah hai. Do we not know that we are ungrateful people? We like to complain and whine. Nur to dekha tuj nathi atla time the besuchu. Why all these thoughts still disturb me? I'm doing everything. So I'm perfect. What Mullah's farmans are, I'm not understanding. Are we saying that? Whenever we complain about, being not able to focus on Isma Azam or thoughts are bothering, these are valid questions, but they are born because there is lack of knowledge. If we were to study the talimat of our Pir and Imam and Dais and Fidais, we would know what we are doing wrong. And after knowing, how many of us truly are working on it to make it right? Or we keep complaining, repeating the same thing. Then Quran says it, Farman says it, Ginan says it, we are ungrateful people, and we do know ourselves that we are ungrateful people. We like to complain. We don't have any gratitude of the blessings we have. The next verse says, and indeed he is in love of wealth intense. Dunya ki mohabbat mein hai, maal ki mohabbat mein hai. Dunya matters a lot. Log kya kahenge? Family ko संभालना है, balance रखना है. You will hear all excuses. बहुत बिजी हो गए हैं, इल्म कहाँ अटेंड करें, इनकी क्लासेस कैसे अटेंड करें? All these are excuses. Again, we do know ourselves, so nobody has to point any finger to us. We do know it. It is just that we have to realize and become determined. What do we need to do? Identify, decide, and then stay on that intention. What are we wanting in our life? Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah's Farman, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. There is even an excuse in other communities in doomsday, that they were unaware of the Satpanth religion. But you Arabs, Badakhshani, Khoja, Momna, as well as all other Ismaili Satpanthi, cannot produce any excuse in doomsday. The world is but for 2 days, in which you are deceived by Shaitan. There is a treasure of wealth beneath your feet, upon which is a heap of the dust, which you cannot remove on this or that side, so that the treasure may come to your hands. Very clear farman. Everybody will be asked, what did you do? Not taking a step here or there, it's a choice we are making. Maulana Hazim Imam's Farman of Kenya, Uganda, 1972. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. All through Islam, the Muslims said that their devotion should be practiced strictly in any given tariqah. Our Jamaat said, our religious duties will not be practiced in strict tariqah. We don't follow Shariah the way others follow. We will devote more time for the upliftment of our souls because life is short, and so we have decided to devote to prayer. So that when we leave this world, we have reached spiritual elevation more than normal persons who have not prepared for life hereafter. There are those who follow Shariat in a very strict sense. We don't follow Shariat, we follow Hakikat. What do? What do we say? Oh, we will do more prayer, we'll do more ibadat. 24 ghante ki ibadat. Why? Because we realize the importance of our soul, the life hereafter. This world is only for 2 days. Verse 9 says, but does he not know that when the contents of the graves are scattered? Now ये डरावनी सारी verses है, right? कि क्या उसको मालूम नहीं कि कब्र से निकाला जाएगा, पुछड़ा लिया जाएगा, अकाउंट होगा, क्या पता नहीं है हमको? We all know, right? And then last 2 verses says, and that within the breast is obtained, indeed their Lord with them that day is acquainted. और सीनों की पोशीदा बातें जाहिर कर दी जाएंगी. कब? जब कब्र से निकाला जाएगा. बेशक उनका रब उस दिन उनके हाल से पूरा बाखबर होगा. He knows everything. On that day, when we will be brought in front of him, he will know everything what we've been doing. There's nothing hidden from him. So to conclude the Tawil which we have learned today through discussing few verses of Brahm Prakash with the help of Surah Adyat, chapter 100, horse is Isme Azam. When we see horses, it's multiple Isme Azam. A Mu'min Salih can have Isme Azam and they can have multiple Isme Azam. It is possible. Panting, हाँकते हुए घोड़े, that alludes to speedy zikr. Spark striking, जब चिंगारी निकलती है, आग निकलती है पैरों से, उस वक्त नफ्स अम्मार, carnal soul is being crushed. Charges at dawn, nurani waqt ki ibadat. Raise the dust, Mu'min Salik ki tarakki, progress of Mu'min Salik. Ungrateful, meaning सोते रहना. कौन सा सोते रहना? नींद का सोना नहीं, दिल और दिमाग का सोना, अकल को सुलाना, हकीकी इल्म को ना सीखना, इमाम की शनाख्त को ना पाना. Whatever we are doing, our soul is recording everything. Atma is seeing everything. How lazy we are or how good we are. Everything is being recorded. This world, we have to live life, but we do not need to be in love of this world that we constantly give excuses and not prioritize our spiritual life. Willingly or unwillingly, we all have to go to him, hisab kitab dena hai. Those who are willingly doing this, they will get the ilm of batin. They will understand ilm laduni. And on the 7th day, he will take the accounts of those who are, how are they doing in ilm o amal. Shukran lillah walhamdulillah, shukran lillah walhamdulillah. If any friends have any question, you can come forward. Ji Naveen Sahiba.
Subhanallah, subhanallah. We have one question here with a friend. You just talked about being grateful. how do we, this friend is saying, like worldly wise, we say we can do it and stay positive and continue the same way to progress. How do we apply the same thing in being grateful? How do we draw a line of understanding that we are being positive or we are using that as an excuse, like you gave an example of falling asleep in bandagi?
Okay, so being ungrateful, if we fall asleep despite of our pure intention, before going to bed, making an intention, waking up, sitting properly at home or Jamaat Khana, wherever you sit, sitting upright, intending to stay awake, and then when you fall asleep, it is okay. At a higher level, when we are doing really good, succeeding, there is a time that moment is actually put to sleep during ibadat, and during that time, Mu'min Salik is actually experiences majizat, and that sleep is called nuwas in Quran. That is the higher level actually, and that sleep is called nuwas. But that is a later on. In the beginning, the laziness sleep, right? That we are talking about here. If we are very honest and sincere, genuine in sitting the way we are sitting and we fall asleep, Mola says, I forgive you. Do not think think of it as a failure, so we do not need to worry about it. A Mu'min Salik might feel guilty that Mola, I do know that you have given me the farman, but I would wish to stay awake. Give me the himmat, give me the courage so I stay awake and do good ibadat. I want to feel happy. I don't want to see myself falling asleep. And that Mu'min Salik will try to do everything to be able to stay awake. So there are ways how a person can think. Being ungrateful is never a good thing in the sense that, let's say, if somebody is not able to wake up, right, and not able to sit in bandagi, this person who is falling asleep, but he's still sitting, is waking up, is better than the person who is not even waking up. So there is shukr guzari. So either you can say that, Ya Mola, oh, I'm so guilty, I'm so bad that I did not do ibadat, or say, Ya Mola, I am so shukr guzar that I was able to wake up. You gave me that himmat. Ya Mola, I seek more himmat to stay awake and to be able to recite your name, Mola, in a speedy way so I can come close to you. That would be the difference between being ungrateful and being grateful. In the beginning, you said something which gave me different thinking, and I was not sure if I understand you. Are you able to read that again, the beginning part?
Ji. Like in the worldly sense, we say to each other, stay positive and continue to do the same thing. How we use the same example in being grateful.
So in worldly life, so what thought came to my mind, that we have to start being grateful in our worldly life too. Tell me whose life is without difficulty. Forget about us. Take the example of prophets. What a difficult lives they lived. But do we ever hear that they are complaining? Never. So we can never say that, our life is as difficult as our prophets. Definitely not. We are living very comfortable life. But do we complain? We do know how much we complain, right? So always this practice of being grateful starts in our worldly life. If we are grateful, then we will be grateful in our Ruhani life too. If we have this habit of complaining about everything, we always see half glass empty. I'm sure you have heard of this analogy, right? That there are two types of people. When there's a glass with a half water in it, someone would say, oh, it is half glass empty, and other would say no, it is half glass filled. So it is the approach, it is the way we think. Wherever we are today, if we are truly motivated, we are truly determined, we want to be farman bardar, we are loyal, we are farman bardar, every day we are walking forward. And that's how we will have to encourage our own selves, give, pat to the back that, yeah, shukar mola, I did this, but you know what? I want to do better. That's how we constantly continue to move further. And it is possible. So every way we can make it positive, grateful. And when we do want to complain, it's very interesting in ilm, we do complain about our nafs, that it is our nafs who has made us its slave. And we do want to crush this carnal soul. So we complain. Whenever we want to complain, we don't complain about our work. We don't complain about our family giving us problem or anybody. We don't complain about anybody. We don't judge anybody. But we say, Ya Mola, this nafs is so strong that it, makes me sick. It makes me angry. Ya Mola, this nafs is so bad that it gives me thoughts of hasad. Not a person, but this nafs, which is part of me, which is lower part of me, which is carnal soul, which we call in Ginan man. So we are complaining of our nafs to Imam, not of the others, to Imam, and seeking his mercy, his madad, courage from him, tawfiq, ta'id, himmat, wa yari, that Ya Mawla, help me crush this carnal soul, not complaining about anybody. Because if we start complaining about others, then we have lost whatever we have earned, because we are judging and we are going in a wrong direction. We have to complain about our nafs so we understand that the fight is inside us. A Mu'min Salik's jihad is actually inside. It is not outside. If we are winning the fight inside, outside automatically will change. How? When a Mu'min Salik is very conscious and careful inside, automatically the light will shine out from inside out. Normally what we always think, from light will come from outside to inside. No, it's other way around. We improve first me, within me, how I think, how I do, and then go out. And going out, believe me, if we are getting better from inside, the light is such, Imam's mercy is such that around us, there will be light automatically. People's heart will change automatically. Life will become such that with mercy of Imam, that we will have madad of Mawla, that we are able to do more. Someone wants to attend ilmi classes, time will be created for that Mu'min Salik. A Mu'min Salik who used to sleep for 8 hours, 10 hours, and would say, oh, if I don't sleep 8 hours, I cannot stay, awake at work. But because of zikr ibadat, reducing the sleep day by day, oh, I sleep 4 hours and I feel so fresh. It is possible. With his mercy and his rahmat, it is possible. All these holes of our carnal soul, through our food, through our talks, and through our sleep, it's making our carnal soul powerful. Mu'min Salik who wants to crush the carnal soul has to take steps, slowly, step by step, to make a habit. And we do know, if we practice something for 40 days, it becomes a habit. In order to break a bad habit, we have to practice for 40 days. When we do that, we are able to practice gratitude in everything in our life, and we are able to see things positively, experience the light inside, light in our dreams, light in our thoughts, and peace in our heart.
Subhanallah, Subhanallah. यहाँ पे साथी का एक और सवाल है. I love the way you say we are smart people who have made worldly progress. I have a question. We have been listening to all of these sessions with beautiful examples of ginans, farmans, and wonderful ilmi sessions. Why do we not improve?
Ali Allah Madad Farma. I would say we are improving. I love the way you are saying that you are not improving. And I have said that you are Momin Sali. Because Momins are such that even when they do progress, they always want to do more. So if you're attending classes, if you've been listening and understanding, and if you've been desiring to improve and you're trying your best to do it, you are improving. I'm witness to it, I would say. And it is a good habit. It is a good habit to stay humble, to say, oh, I'm not improving. So you know what? Shaitan does not tell us, whispers, oh, I am doing that. Remember, we have to be very, very careful. Maula Bapa in his Farman, Baitul Khayal, he gives us one condition so frequently. Sit in humility. Sit in humility. It is beyond our ability to learn to sit in ibadat. It is all his mercy. You know, whenever we do bad, take it upon ourselves so we can improve. Whenever we do good, always give credit to him. Maula, it's because of you. That habit will protect us from any vanity, any, sinning. It will keep us grounded and humble. So that is a beautiful way of you saying it. I say Mubarakbad to you that you are bold and you are brave to say that in front of everybody. But you know what? With his mercy, we are progressing. I truly believe that. Shukr Maula.
Subhanallah, Subhanallah. Friends, if you have questions or comments, please come forward.
याली मदद
Malay Madama.
नियामत साहब, आप ये जो सिखाते हैं ना कि बोल के साथ स्पीड के साथ बोलना और साथ में उसको यहाँ देखना, वो मतलब अरबिक में देखना, तो है ना वो देखने का मतलब पहले तो सीख के फिर देखने जाते हो ना भाई माँ, तो स्पीड टूट जाती और स्पीड पे चले जाते ना तो वो हट जाता। तो इसमें कुछ टिप है तो दो ना भाई माँ।
एक जो चीज जो मुझे सुनाई दी वो ये कि you are writing in your mind in Arabic. You don't have to do that. You can do it in English too. Yali can be in English too. You can read. The purpose is that you have something to focus on. नक्श है तो वो नक्श अगर आपके लिए आसान है, अब हिंदी में, गुजराती में, खोजकी में, इंग्लिश में, keep focusing on the naksh. And remember, it is a practice. It is a practice. So I'm so proud of you for sharing कि ध्यान टूट जाता है कि ये दोनों करने जाते हैं. Remember, Maula in his Farman says, start with 1 minute. Try. We have to do that. आंखों से देखना है, कान से सुनना है और दिल से बोलना है. Inshallah, it will happen. Before going to bed, do tasbih. Okay? मौला से मांगना है कि या मौला वक्त पे उठना है और ध्यान लगना है मौला, तमाम सेंसेस के साथ लगना है मौला, ये मेरी मुश्किल है मौला, मेरी मुश्किल आसान करना. हम मुश्किल आसान का इत्तकाफ कर रहे हैं ना, तो मुश्किल आसान की तस्बीह निकाल रहे हैं, तो ये मुश्किल भी इमाम को बताना, इमाम को सब बताना, जितनी भी तकलीफ है सब मौला को बताना. इसको बताएंगे, उसी को बताएंगे ना. सजदे में जाना है और दुआ मांगनी कि मौला हेल्प मी. इबादत से पहले भी सजदे में जाना, उससे मांगना, and then sit, and then his mercy will come to us. Amen.
Thank you भाई माँ, thank you.
Any other friends, please come forward if you have questions or any comments you want to share. Come forward.
Question, but Sukha, alhamdulillah. Oh my goodness, yeah, the way you are explaining, we, even if we are hearing again, we still would love to, it's always new things to learn. When you mentioned about gratitude, we are thankful kariye ke je che, we always look ke aa nathi પણ જે છે, that reminds me that ALWAEZA, I was listening, he also said the same thing કે you complain everything મારો આ ગોઠણ દુખે છે, મારો આ ગોઠણ, પણ look at always take positive કે સુખર મોલા કે મારો બીજો પગ તો સારો છે, સુખર મોલા કે મારો આ હાથ સારો છે, મારો છોકરો નથી કોઈ દિવસ ખાને આવતો નથી દવા, પણ look positive also કે કાઈ ના સુખર મોલા મારી છોકરી તો આવે છે ને, like that's a positive way to look at it, and મોલા તમારી સેવા કબૂલ કરે, શુકર અલ્હમ્દુલિલ્લાહ, શુકર મોલા હિંમત આપે આપણને. અને the way you said to that our member friend member કે we are already improving. I like that, you know. અમે આવીએ છીએ, આપણે કોશિશ કરીએ છીએ. We are already doing. શુકર મોલા. તમારી દુઆ છે ને આપણને હિંમત આપી. Allah Bailey. Thank you so much. શુકર.
Yali Madad, friends.
Yali Madad, Niamat.
Yali Madad, Yasmin.
How are you?
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. Shukran Mawla.
Super. My question to you was, if we are already doing ibadat, the way, maybe we were taught from mission class or our parents, but for the example you gave today about the horse, should one change to do with the affirmation and the symbol you gave as a horse and doing the ibadat faster now? I mean, already we are disciplined we were never told to do it really fast, the way you're saying, right? So now, should one try to do that to change? Or do you still continue the way the way we are doing Bangi, we continue that way?
That would be your choice, right? That would be your choice. My hope was that I was explaining the Ginan with Quran and Farman, showing us that we do need to learn and do the zikr in a speedy way. We do not use any symbols. We do have Isma Azam, and writing of it in our eyes, in front of our eyes, is our naqsh. That is what we should look at and do the zikr in a speedy way. Why? So there is no thought in between introduced when we are doing the zikr. If we will do zikr slowly, we will either fall asleep or we will have thoughts. We'll go from one direction to the other direction.
Doing the ibadat, you're not saying it, your mind is doing the ibadat, right? It's not the physical mouth. So that's what I was wondering.
Oh, okay. So we did talk about it in last class, so I built on it. So when we are sitting in ibadat, we do say from our tongue of our heart. I don't use my physical tongue, tongue of our heart inside. We are saying it. We are saying it, right? When you're saying it, you do need to listen to it too. If you're not listening, meaning you're falling asleep, you need to wake up and say it in your heart. So you listen to it too. And at the same time, you see it written in front of your eyes too. That is the way to stay awake and connected and focused. So all these three things has to be happening. That's why I think Guzar tried and Guzar asked. It was difficult. Yes, it is difficult. It is difficult. But that is what will keep us awake, attentive, and focused. And we do need to do that.
Thank you. This last bit really helped me. Thank you. Mawla bless.
Ameen. Shukran Mullah for asking. Thank you. All right, friends. I take your leave. Yali Madad. Yali Madad.
Yali Madad, Yali
Madad.
Yali Madad,
Verma, thank you so much.
Shukran Mullah. Yali Madad.
Yali Verma.
Yali Madad. Yali Madad.
શુકર મોલા સેવા કબૂલ કરે, ઈમાન દીદાર નસીબ કરે.
Amen.
મોલા
Shukr.
Yali Madad, Yali Madad.
Yali Madad to all.
Yali Madad.